Welcome to sportsvenueguides.com, your ultimate stadium guide. Visit our website or check the description below for the full guide to tickets, travel, and hotels. Today, we're heading somewhere truly special, Puskás Aréna in Budapest, Hungary. One of the most stunning football stadiums in Europe and a venue that has already cemented its place on the world stage. I'll take you through everything you need to know to get there, by car, by bus, by tram, by taxi, from the airport, and by metro. Stay until the end for our best matchday tips and a few things you'll want to know before you travel. Before we get into the travel, let's take a moment to appreciate where you're going. Puskás Aréna opened in November 2019, built on the exact site of the old NEP Stadium, the Palace of the People, which for decades was the beating heart of Hungarian football. With a capacity of just under 68,000, it is Hungary's largest stadium and one of the most modern football venues on the entire continent. It's named after the legendary Ferenc Puskas, one of the greatest footballers who ever lived. A man who scored 84 goals in 85 games for Hungary before going on to win 3 consecutive European Cups with Real Madrid. There's a bronze statue of him outside, and inside you'll find the Ferenc Puskas Museum tracing his remarkable career. The stadium sits in Budapest's 14th district, in the Zugló neighborhood, about 3 kilometers from the city center, next to the beautiful Városliget, the city park. The 4 stands are steep, tight, and positioned just 7 meters from the touchline. The atmosphere is electric. Puskás Aréna has already hosted UEFA Champions League matches and major international fixtures, and UEFA has selected it as a venue for some of the biggest games in European football, a mark of just how highly this stadium is regarded. Let's get you there. Puskás Aréna is located at Istvánmezei út 3-5, Budapest. For your sat-nav, the postcode is 1146. The stadium sits close to the Hungary Körút Ring Road, which connects to the major motorway network. From the north and west, the M1 and M0 motorways feed into the city, while from the south, the M5 and M7 bring you into Pest. Once in the city, the Hungary Körút Ring Road is your main artery heading towards the stadium district. That said, driving on a match day in Budapest is genuinely not recommended. Traffic in the city center and around the stadium area can be severe, parking is very limited, and road restrictions are typically in place around Puskás Aréna on event days. Street parking in the surrounding residential streets is restricted, and the best parking options require pre-planning. If you do need to drive, there are parking areas in the vicinity, and apps like Bolt or local park and ride facilities accessed via the Ring Road are your best bet. For most visitors, especially those coming from outside Hungary, driving into central Budapest and navigating to the stadium on match day adds unnecessary stress to what should be an excellent day out. Our strong advice is to use public transport from wherever you're staying. Budapest's network is excellent and will take you right to the door. A taxi from the historic city center takes around 10 to 15 minutes in normal traffic. However, on major match days, restrictions around the stadium mean private vehicles cannot always access the immediate area, so allow extra time and be prepared to walk the last 5 to 10 minutes. There is no official taxi drop-off directly at the stadium on event days. Budapest's public transport network, operated by BKK, is one of the best in Central Europe. Clean, frequent, and very affordable. The stadium area is well served by both bus and tram. For buses, the key routes serving Puskás Aréna include the 5, 7, 30, 75, 77, 95, 112, 133E, and 195. The trolleybus routes 75 and 77 are also useful. These services connect the stadium with key points across the city, including Keleti railway station, Blaha Lujza tér, Baros tér, and the Inner Ring Road. The number 7 bus is one of the most useful. It runs along the Pest embankment and connects a huge stretch of the city to the stadium area. Most services stop very close to the stadium on Istvánmezei út and the surrounding streets. For trams, the number 1 and 1A lines stop at Puskás Ferenc Stadion. That's the tram stop right by the ground. Tram 1 runs between Közvágóhíd in the south and Zugló in the north, passing through key central stops along the Pest waterfront, including Calvin tér, Kossuth Lajos tér, and Margit híd. If you're staying near the river or in central Pest, Tram 1 is a brilliant option. It runs frequently and drops you right at the stadium end. From Nyugati railway station, you can board Tram 1 at a nearby stop and head east towards the stadium, the Enschredi. Bus and tram tickets in Budapest are very affordable. You can buy them from machines at metro stations, from newsagents, or through the Budapest EO app, which also handles journey planning. A 24-hour or 72-hour travel card gives unlimited travel across bus, tram, trolleybus, and metro. Excellent value if you're visiting for a weekend. Always check current prices at bkk.hu before you travel. Budapest is increasingly cycle-friendly with a growing network of dedicated cycle lanes across the city. The MOL Bubi Cycle Hire scheme has docking stations across central Budapest, and the routes along the Pest riverside, the rock part, make for a genuinely enjoyable ride to the stadium from the city centre. The journey from the inner city to Puskás Aréna is around 3 to 4 kilometers, which takes roughly 15 to 20 minutes by bike on a clear route. There are bike storage areas around the stadium perimeter. It's a great option if you're staying centrally and the weather is kind. And in Budapest, on a sunny match day, riding along the Danube before a big game is hard to beat. Budapest Liszt Ferenc International Airport, airport code BUD, is Hungary's main international hub, located about 25 kilometers southeast of the city center. The most efficient public transport option from the airport is the 100E Airport Express bus. This runs directly from Terminal 2 to Deák Ferenc tér, the very heart of Budapest, stopping at Astoria and Calvin tér along the way. It runs every 10 minutes during the day, and you can pay by contactless bank card directly on the bus. From Deák Ferenc tér, you connect to the M2 Metro Red Line and travel to Puskás Ferenc Stadion station. Total journey time from the airport to the stadium is around 45 to 55 minutes. Alternatively, the 200E bus runs from the airport to Kőbánya Kispest, where you connect to the M3 Blue Metro line into the city, then change to M2 at Deák Ferenc tér for the stadium. This option uses standard BKK tickets rather than the special Airport Express ticket, making it slightly cheaper, though a touch slower. By taxi, the journey from the airport to the stadium takes around 24 minutes in normal traffic and costs approximately 18 to 25 euros. This is a reasonable option if you're landing with luggage, but on major event days, allow extra time for traffic around the stadium perimeter. This is the headline section, and for Puskás Aréna, the metro is absolutely the best way to arrive. The M2 line, the red line, has a dedicated station called Puskás Ferenc Stadion, which sits right underneath the venue. It could not be more convenient. From Deák Ferenc tér, the very center of Budapest and the interchange for all 3 metro lines, the journey to Puskás Ferenc Stadion takes just 7 minutes. From Keleti Pályaudvar, Budapest's main international railway station, it's just 2 stops along the M2 heading east, taking around 3 to 4 minutes. Keleti is also served by the M4 Green Line, so you have excellent onward connections from anywhere in the city. The M2 connects the stadium to the entire Budapest metro network. From Deák Ferenc tér, you can connect to the M1 Yellow Line for Andrassy Avenue and Heroes Square, and the M3 Blue Line for Nyugati Station and the south of the city. The M4 Green Line connects from Keleti across to Kelenfold on the Buda side. For international visitors traveling into Budapest on Eurocity or intercity trains, Keleti station is your arrival point for most Central European international services. From there, Puskás Aréna is literally 2 metro stops away. It is one of the most accessible stadium journeys you will find anywhere in Europe. Metro tickets are very affordable. Always validate your ticket before you board at the machines at the station entrance, as inspectors do check and fines apply. If you're planning a full day in Budapest around the match, a 24-hour or 72-hour travel card covers all public transport and is tremendous value. Check current prices at bkk.hu. One key matchday note. On very large event days, the metro station at Puskás Ferenc Stadion can become extremely busy in the hour before kickoff, and crowd control measures may mean queues to access the platform. Try to arrive at least 90 minutes before kickoff to allow time to clear security, find your seat, and soak up the pre-match atmosphere. A few things worth knowing before you go. Hungary uses the Hungarian forint, not the euro, so it's worth having some local currency available. Card payments are widely accepted in the stadium and surrounding area, but having forints for street food, market stalls, and smaller venues will serve you well. Arrive early. Not just to beat the queues, though you should, but because the area around Puskás Aréna is genuinely worth exploring. Walking around the exterior, you'll find statues dedicated to the greats of Hungarian football, including that iconic Puskas statue. The Ferenc Puskás Museum inside the stadium is well worth your time before the match. And just a short walk away is the Városliget, the city park, one of the most beautiful green spaces in Budapest, home to the Széchenyi thermal baths, the incredible Vajdahunyad Castle, and Heroes Square. If you're making a longer trip of it, Budapest rewards every extra day you give it. The thermal baths are a must. Széchenyi and Keleti are both world famous. The ruined bars of the Jewish Quarter are unlike anything else in Europe. The Great Market Hall, the Parliament Building, the Chain Bridge, this is one of the great European city breaks. A river cruise on the Danube at dusk, with the Parliament illuminated on one bank, is one of the finest travel experiences on the continent. Download the Budapest Geo app before you arrive. It will handle all your public transport planning from the moment you land. No matter how you travel to Puskás Aréna, give yourself extra time on match days. The closer it gets to kickoff, the busier the metro and the streets around the stadium become. But with the M2 Red Line running direct to a station built literally underneath the venue, there are very few grounds in Europe where getting there is this straightforward. Puskás Aréna has earned its reputation as one of UEFA's favorite venues for a reason. The atmosphere, the location, the history, embedded in every corner of this place. It all comes together the moment you step out of that metro, climb the stairs, and see this magnificent stadium rising up in front of you in one of the most beautiful cities in Europe. Thanks for watching this guide. If you found it helpful, please hit like and subscribe, or visit sportsvenueguides.com for more travel tips and stadium guides across Europe and beyond. Safe travels and enjoy Budapest.